if you could give a founder or a business owner one tip, what do you think that would be?
I'll say, and this goes in line with where do you get advice? Um, Find the right coach. We often cannot read the label outside of our own bottles. You need someone with an external perspective to be able to give you feedback in what you are even saying to yourself, to actually hear what you're saying and be able to get that feedback and to get that support you need to your next best.
I couldn't agree more.
If you, and I come from someone, I'm like, I didn't know how much I needed to coach. And now I'm surrounded by coaches and by coaching, even being one. And the whole thing that is required is you don't know what you don't know. And if I don't have reflected back to me what I'm saying, I don't even hear what I'm saying. I don't see the gaps. I don't see the seams. And it's the same. And the same is true for most every other person. I've always thought, I can probably solve my own problems, but I need a friend to reflect back to me what I've been saying. Because I probably have most of the answer, but I haven't been able to hear it because it's in with all the other nonsense that's spinning in my head. But when we talk to someone else and we get them to ask us good questions and make us think in ways that we haven't thought of before, and then be able to put that new information with the old information, something new comes out. And that moves us the next step forward. So so that's not just the advisor, but it's really, that sounding board, that trusted agent, who you can go to, who's going to give you, I'll say, direct feedback and tell you, okay, where are the pitfalls? Are you evaluating all the pitfalls? Are you thinking this through the correct way? And I'll say it's a lot of ways to save you a lot of money and probably a lot of aggravation, being able to do that growth that you're interested in.
The only thing I'd like to add to that is this. The beauty of having an actual coach who you pay to give you direction, advice, guides, etc., is you have someone in your corner whose responsibility is you. And as a founder, not only are you often on an island by yourself, but the people who you are interacting with have a vested interest in the outcome of the answer you're asking them for. That coach isn't your employee in the sense that they work for your company. So they aren't going to be afraid to say, Sean, I think that's a mistake because. And that is invaluable.
And I'll say some of the best coaches are the ones who can ask you the right questions to help you just recognize yourself the mistake you were about to make.
Yes.
And the best coaches are the ones who are able to guide you without telling you. Because if you tell someone a fact, they can dispute it. If they tell themselves the fact, there's nothing to dispute.
So you just touched on something I talk about in sales often. I will save that for another conversation at risk of derailing this. That is wonderful. I couldn't agree more. Coaches have an invaluable place. And the strange thing for me is why there's resistance in business. Most of these folks are avid sports fans, and I've yet to see a single sport that doesn't have a coach attached, even individual sports. So it's not a concept that's foreign to anyone. And yeah, coaching is critical.
Thank you, Jerry. But I think it goes back to what we said about help.
Yes,
If you
agree.
are afraid to ask for help or afraid to bring down that facade that you need help, you think there's weakness. And I think that's where a big hesitation comes from, is literally a fear of being unmasked and being judged less than, from what you are supposed to. And you said it very well. They don't have anybody else to talk to. You can't talk to your employees about these issues because they have a different interest than you do. So being that founder, being that business owner is really, really lonely. And then you tend to not know who to trust to be able to open up with.
Could not agree anymore. I feel like we've covered a wide range of topics, and I'd love to have you on the show again to dig into some of them more.